Hello, everybody. You're very welcome to our virtual open day today. So this is our admission session. My name is Laura. I'm one of the admissions managers at the school, and I'm also joined by my colleague Fiona Cleary. So today we will be talking to you just a little bit about the school. We'll then talk to you about the MSc programs that we have available. If you are thinking of applying, we will bring you through the application process. And then at the end of the webinar, we will have a question and answer. So at any time during the webinar, if you do have a question, we do have the Q&A box. So you can post your question there and we'll get back to you during the webinar or at the end live as well. So just a little bit about the business school. So we are Ireland's leading and top ranked business school, and our business school is located in Dublin in Ireland. So we're just about 10-15 minutes away from the main UCD campus. At the school, we have both MSc and MBA programs. And with the MSc programs, we have over 20 programs ranging from accounting, marketing, finance, and management. Our programs are 1 year long full time and they all start September 2025. And we only have one intake every year. So if you are thinking about starting your master's this year, it would be for the September intake. And then if you were thinking of next year, it would be for next September. So we do only have one intake of our MSc programs. At the school, we do have a great alumni network and it's quite global as well. So we have students this year from over 60 countries in the world, and our network is continuously growing every year as well. When you're looking at a master's, it is really important also to think about what you want to do after the master's program too. So really think about your career. So at Smurfit, we do have a dedicated careers team, which are located on our campus, and they're there to give you advice in terms of your CV, applying for jobs, and attending career fairs. So they're really there to support you whilst you're a student at the school as well. So when you are thinking of master program, it is important to think about your career as well. And then when you're studying at the school, to really look at your CV, look at jobs you're applying for, and really kind of dedicate time to your career. And then finally, we also have our Global Leadership Program. So our GLP program really looks at building your skill set within leadership and also looking at your career as well. And both our careers team and our global leadership program have webinars today, and we really would recommend you attend them as well to get a better understanding of what these programs and what the careers team actually offer our students as well. And then just a little bit as well, and you'll probably see this in our careers webinar as well, but we are located in Dublin in Ireland, so we do have access to quite a lot of the top employers, and these are just some of them that our students go to after studying with us. So really, when you're looking at a master's and when you're picking a master's, you really need to think about career-wise what you want to do after, and then work your way back to choose masters that will suit you best. And then with the GLP program, this is an extracurricular program that you can take whilst at the school. And as I mentioned, it really just looks at developing your leadership skills, your workplace skills, and also career planning as well. It is extracurricular, so if you are studying a master program, you can partake in it as well as studying your master's too. And as I mentioned, we do have webinars from both our careers team and the GLP program. So we definitely would highly recommend you going to them to kind of learn a bit more about what each of the programs offers. And then, as I mentioned, we do have over 20 MSc programs at the school. So when you are picking a master's, it's probably good to have a look at this as a starting point. So this is all our masters listed and the eligibility in terms of what you've studied in your undergrad degree. So this is actually available on our website under what I'm eligible to study at the school. So there are lots of different areas in business that you can study. And what's really great about our school is that you can actually study some of our masters without having a business undergrad. So over 60% of our students at the school don't come from a business undergrad. And as you can see on this page here, we do have lots of different areas of business that you can study, such as accounting. We have 5 finance programs. There's a suite of management programs from food business, international business. We have our SEMS program as well. And we have management, which is just for students who haven't studied business. We've consultancy, project, strategic, and supply chain as well. And then in terms of business analytics, digital innovation, and then we also have 4 marketing programs as well. So we will have webinars on all our programs today. And if you want to kind of get a bit more understanding of what the programs entail and the different suites of masters that we have, we definitely recommend making sure you have and attend those webinars too to get a better understanding of the programs. We do have 2 online programs as well, project management and management online, and they're both strictly online. And then the other part is probably when you're looking at picking your masters, you want to think about your career. So I have mentioned this, but it is really important to think about what you want to do after the master program. So think about the type of roles that you want to work at, and then also, look at the companies as well that you'd like to work for too. And then when you have an idea of your job, what's your kind of career goals, then you can look at what exactly the masters entails. So by going to the webinars, finding out what exactly you're going to learn, the knowledge that you're going to get, and then also by looking at the website, you can go into each of these master programs on our website and you can have a look at the curriculum. So you can go into each module and it'll tell you what exactly you're going to learn. It'll tell you how you're going to be assessed, and it gives you like a really good insight on the modules and what knowledge you're going to get. And also, if you're not too sure about what type of jobs you'd like, you can also get a flavour of some of the alumni that have studied these master programs. So that would be on our website as well under careers. So we list the top 4 or 5 employers from each of our programs. Our career statistics are there as well. And also we list as well, the types of companies our alumni work for from each of this program. So it is important to do your research because we have so many programs there, and there's lots of opportunities there as well. So really, when you're looking at your masters, think about your career first. So what exactly you want to do, and then look at what exactly you're going to learn, what knowledge you're going to get. And then hopefully when you've done all that research, you can kind of make a decision on which masters will suit you best. And when you have researched the program, then you might want to make an application. So at the moment, we have experienced quite a high volume of applications. So every year, our applications open on the 1st of October. So we have been open since the 1st of October 2024 for this year's program intake. And we always say to apply early just because we do our applications on a rolling basis. So we do still have some availability on our master programs, but it is coming towards the end of our application. So we would say if you are thinking of applying, you will need to apply in the coming weeks because we do have limited spaces on our programs. When you do decide the masters you'd like to apply for, your application is done online, so you can apply directly through our UCD Smurfit website. With the application, it's important to follow each of the steps correctly. So one of the important parts of the application is the documents part. So we do require your academic transcripts, and they need to be official transcripts from your university. And on the transcripts, we need to see the modules that you've taken. So what you've studied, the topics that you've studied, and the results that you've gotten to date. And we also need an up-to-date CV as well. And with your transcripts, if you're in final year, you can provide the transcripts to date. So you don't have to be finished your undergrad degree to apply. So you might still be in final year, you can still apply, and you just would need to give all your transcripts to date. And it's important that we see the subjects, the modules that you've studied, and the grades that you've gotten to date as well. And if you do require an English language test, you can apply to the school without your English language test, and then we would let you know if we require one. So in terms of documents, they're really the really important documents that we need to have. And the other parts are the references as well. So you can upload your references under additional documents. So we do require 2 references. So they can either be academic or they can be from a job that you may have had. But we do require 2 references. So you can upload them to additional documents, or there is a reference section where you can provide the details of your references there as well. And then the other part of the application is the essay question. So there are essay questions on our programs that really are to do with why you want to study at the school. So what are your reasons? And then also your career. So where do you see yourself after studying at the school as well? So we just want to make sure that you've really researched the program and you've thought about career-wise what you'd like to do after as well. And when that's completed, you do need to submit your application, and there is an application fee of €60 to apply for the school. If you are applying for more than one program, you can just submit a separate application after, but it is all covered under the one application fee. So for example, you might be looking at two of our marketing programs, so you can apply for both of them under the same application fee. You will need to submit two separate applications, but you can also preference what's your first and second preference on your application as well. And then what happens is once you've submitted your application and you have all your documents and all the essay questions completed and the application fee paid, then it does come to the admissions team and we would assess your application then and we get back to you. And then at any time during the application process, if you have any questions at all, you can contact our admissions team directly, and our details are smurfit.admissions@ucd.ie. So that really is the application process itself. So what we're going to go through now is if you have any questions. So if you would have any questions you'd like us to answer, if you want to post them into the Q&A. And I'm just going to answer some of them here as well. So applying for more than one course. So I did mention this already. So once your application fee is paid, you can apply for more than one course. What we would say though is to really think about your application. So, you know, one or two, three kind of max would be what we would say, because we really want you to research and think about your career and what you'd like to do after. So you can apply for more than one program and it is covered within the same application fee. If you are applying for more than one, what we would say is just make sure you preference what's your first preference and your second preference. In terms of applications, so it is done on a rolling basis. So we have opened our applications on the 1st of October last year. And we do still have places on our programs, but I would say that you would need to apply in the next few weeks because we have received quite a high volume of applications this year. In terms of scholarships, so our scholarships are all listed on our website. So we do have scholarships at the school. What we do say is, though, they are very competitive and there are limited scholarships as well. But they are all listed on the website. You can filter them from MSc and MBA, and you can also filter if the scholarship is opened or closed. A lot of the scholarships, once you make an application to the school, you're automatically considered for them. There are a few which we've listed on the website that you do need to make a separate application, but for majority of the scholarships, once you apply to the school and make an application to the MSc program, you'll be automatically considered for majority of the scholarships that we have. In terms of accepting your place, so if you do get a full offer or a conditional offer, so a full offer would be where you've met all the conditions of the program, and a conditional offer would mean that you still may have something to complete. So you might be in final year and you just need to get your final results. So if you do get a conditional offer or a full offer, how you accept your place is that you pay a deposit. So we will send you an email listing everything you need to do, and we do give you a deadline as well to accept. So you do need to pay a deposit. It is non-refundable, but it does keep that place for you until you've met your condition, or if you're full offer, then you're fully accepted. In terms of talking to students, so today at our virtual webinar, we will have webinars today from our academics, our careers team, our GLP program as well, and also on our website in the coming weeks we will have students there that you can speak to directly about the program. In terms of closing dates, so as I mentioned, it is a rolling process that we have, so there are no specific closing dates, but just to reiterate that if you are thinking of applying and want to commence this September, you really would need to submit an application in the next few weeks. And the documents, so again, these are really important to the application. So what we need is your official academic transcript. So they have to be official from your university. They need to say the subject that you've taken and the grades that you've gotten. We do need a CV and two references as well. So they're really the documents that you really need that when you make your first application to the school. In terms of entry criteria, so as I mentioned, the eligibility chart that I was showing all the programs on, that's a really good starting point. But if you go into our website on all our MSc pages, there's a list of the eligibility criteria, and they're kind of the minimum requirements that would be to get a place onto the program. And again, they're minimum requirements. So it's good to have a look at the eligibility chart, and then also on each of the MSc pages, you'll see the entry criteria to the program, as it's slightly different for each of the MSc programs that we have. If you do submit an application, there is a status on your application, so you can log into your application at any time and view this status. And then if you have any questions, you can contact the admissions team directly, and we can give you an update as well. And then in terms of applying for 2025 programs, so this is this September, we are taking applications at the moment just for this September 2025. And as I mentioned, we only have one intake every year. So if you're thinking about applying for 2026, you'll need to wait until the 1st of October of this year to apply. Um, so thank you so much for listening to our presentation today. Just, I suppose, to give you some more details. So smurfit.admissions@ucd.ie is our email address for our admissions team. So if you do have any questions after the webinar, you can please feel free to give us an email. And also our website, which I kind of mentioned, has really good resources in terms of, finding out more about the programs and the careers from each of the programs, the employability statistics as well, the modules that you'll study, and kind of extra information about the modules too. That's all on our website, which is smurfitschool.ie. So I'm going to just hand over to my colleague Fiona, who's been answering some of our questions.
Laura, there are a couple of questions in the Q&A that maybe you'll be able to address. And we have two questions relating to English language. The first question is it possible to submit an application without your language certificate, and how does that work? And then also related to that question is, does a language cert go out of date? And what happens if your current language cert is out of date?
Yes, so you can apply to the school without an English language test. And then what we would do is, if you met the requirements on the condition, we would say that you would need your English language test, and we give you a date as well. In regards to the ELT, the English language test, they do have expiry dates, so they are only valid for 2 years. So if it was more than 2 years, you would need to do another English language test. If you have any questions even about the scoring or the bands within the English language test, they're all listed on our website. So we accept IELTS, TOEFL, for example, and we also give what exactly the score you need to get, but they do have to be within the last 2 years.
Thank you, Laura. There's a question about the part-time master's option. What are the options there for applicants? And if you could just give a very general idea of what the timetable would be in terms of hours.
Yeah, so it depends on what part-time program you're looking at. So management online and project management, they're part-time programs. So they're both online programs. Some of our finance and management programs do have part-time options, but they vary differently compared to each master program. So if you are looking at part-time, we always say that you need to contact admissions first, and then we'll have a talk with you just about kind of the lecture hours that are required. But for management online, project management, they're specifically part-time programs, whereas the other masters that allow for part-time, basically what it is it's the instead of the full-time 1 year program, it's just split over 2 years, but you are expected to go to the full-time lectures during the working day. So the part-time on the other programs, they are during the working day, and it's just that the full-time program is split over the 2 years. Whereas management online and project management, they're specifically part-time programs that we have. But if it's a specific master's, if you just contact admissions, we can talk to you directly.
There's a question here from an applicant who is at the stage of they've accepted their place. And their question is there anything else pending from their side? Is there anything that they have to look out for, before they get to the stage where they're paying their program fees or starting on September the 25th? I'm sure that's a question that a lot of people will have.
Yeah, absolutely. And congratulations. We hope to see you in September. So, yeah, if you're fully accepted, there's no conditions. What happens next is you'll start hearing from our program office. So they'll give you just information about orientation. So normally the orientation will start the commencing kind of the last week in August. And they'll also be in contact about your timetable, which is normally released kind of mid to late August as well. So the main thing is really just to check your emails and just make sure that you don't miss any communications from our program office team. And our careers team will also be in contact as well before you begin the programs too, with just kind of information about the careers part and service that we have at Smurfit.
There's a question here from an applicant who completed their undergraduate program at UCD. And the question is, if I completed my undergraduate at UCD, do I still need to upload my academic transcripts manually?
No. So if you study at UCD, we have access to your transcript. So you will need to apply with your UCD student number and your UCD account. So yeah, you can make an application directly from your UCD account. It's also free for UCD students to apply, so there is no application fee. So you should be able to submit your application. And then if there was any transcripts or anything that we needed, we would contact you. But for UCD students, you should be able to apply just with your UCD student number.
Thank you, Laura. There's another question in relation to English language here, and it is in terms of English proficiency requirement, does it apply to international students with an MBA from a UK university?
So if you've studied within the UK and your it's a master level 8 or level 9, you wouldn't need an English language test, but the MBA will have a webinar later on. So I definitely think it would be good to attend the MBA session later on because they'll give really good insight into the program. But to answer that question, no, if you've studied in the UK, you wouldn't need an English language.
Laura, just one more question here. Are the programs hybrid? And if so, what percentage is delivered online?
No, so all our MSc programs full time are on campus, so the lectures are in person. The only programs that are online would be project management and management online, and they are two part-time programs. But all the full-time programs, the MSc ones, they're all in person in the Smurfit Business School.
Can I contact if I have questions about fees and payments for an MSc course?
Oh yeah, of course. So if you send your query to the admissions team, we'll put you in contact with our fees department, and we might be able to help first as well.
And I think Gillian has listed some links in the chat box with links to the fees pages on our website as well. There's another question here, Laura, in terms of deadlines. What are the deadlines? What's the timeline for applications to be well reviewed, but also for responses, or is there a closing date for applications?
So there's no closing date, so it's done on a rolling basis. So we opened on the 1st of October last year, 2024, for applications for this year. So it is done on a rolling basis. So we do still have places left, but what I would say is you would need to apply very soon, because we have received a very high volume of applications. Now, we do get back to everybody, but there is a slight wait on applications, but we will get back to you.
The next question here is an applicant is still completing their undergraduate program and they've received a conditional offer, and they're really asking, I'll be able to submit the final certificate before the deadline, um, you know, but is there, what's the normal process around submitting your final results if you are in the holder of a conditional offer?
Yeah, so if you do have a conditional offer, and you've accepted the place as well, so it is important to make sure you accept your offer. Then what happens is that you need to log back into your account and resubmit the final official transcripts with your official final result. So when you do that, you just have to log back into your application, and then under additional documents, you can upload it there. And then if you could just send an email to Smurfit Admissions just to let us know that you've done that, and then we'll get back to you within a couple of days, and reassess the application then.
There's another question here, Laura, about accessing facilities in Belfield as a master's student in UCD Smurfit.
Yeah, so I did mention at the start, so we aren't based on the UCD campus, so we are about 10-15 minutes away, but you are still a UCD student, so you can access all the facilities on the main campus as well. But on the business campus here, we do have a library, we have study areas, we also have a gym as well, there's restaurants, so there's lots of facilities that you can use within our campus here at Smurfit. But you can use the main UCD campus too as well, because you are a UCD student, but it is around 10-15 minutes away. So we're not located on the main UCD campus.
Laura, if you have time for one more question, as a UCD undergraduate student, will we receive a new email or will our previous email still exist?
No, you still have your same email. Yeah.
I think that's just about it.
Great. Thank you, Fiona. So that is just the end of our webinar now. If you do have any other questions, please do let us know. It's smurfit.admissions@ucd.ie. We really hope you enjoy the rest of our event today. And thank you all so much for joining. And just a big thank you as well to my colleagues, Fiona and Gillian as well. And we hope to see you all very soon. Thank you.